Well, the storm we were concerned with south of Poplar Bluff has spun up a possible tornado. We've got a new tornado warning. We're also getting reports that we had some damage near the Benton area. We're trying to get more information on that. You can see the yellow shaded counties here. That is a tornado watch, and that is in effect until 1 o'clock in the morning hours. Severe thunderstorm warning. So far, the rotation with that is looking much weaker. So let's get to our new tornado warning. Again, we told you we were concerned about this storm as it was moving off to the east. What did you say, Laura? I think you gave me a speed on that. 35? 25. All right, 25 miles per hour, moving off to the east. And again, this one is unfortunately in a very favorable area. I was just analyzing the entire atmosphere, and the greatest or the best conditions, unfortunately, for tornadoes to develop are right in this general area near Neelyville over towards Culen. And if it continues, you betcha it's going to be headed towards the northern parts of Dunkling County, near the Malden area, and possibly Bernie as well. It's moving to the east for the most part at about 25 miles per hour. And again, the main concern is very large hail and the possibility of a tornado that could form near Neelyville. Looks like it's in Neelyville right now. So if you live in Neelyville, there it is. You definitely need to be seeking shelter right now. We have a possible tornado on First Alert Doppler Network in Neelyville at this moment. That means you need to be in the basement if you live there. If you don't have a basement, you need to be on the lowest floor of your home and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We'll take another look at another source to see about the hail. And we are seeing the possibility, of hail with that as well, just to the north of Neelyville. So we have a couple of storms we're watching closely. We've got this new tornado warning, and we're going to stay with it as long as we have the threat of a tornado in southern Butler County. For you folks in Poplar Bluff, this storm is to your south. If the sirens are going off in Poplar Bluff, this storm is to your south. I just want to go ahead and reiterate that. This storm is headed towards the Malden area right now. We are watching new storms develop across the Carter County areas that could move towards Poplar Bluff, but right now, those do not appear to be severe at this time. Our main concern also is this strong gusty winds with this storm right here that's moving across Alexander County into parts of Pulaski County and moving into Ballard County. We'll take a look because there is what appears to be a bookend vortex that may be trying to form here. A lot of times we get quick spin up tornadoes. This is headed right towards the Ohio River, and we'll kind of put a track. We'll look at that. Okay, we're seeing some very strong gusty winds. It's trying to kink up, but it's not. So we're not seeing the tornado form right now. Not to say we won't. This is mainly just strong gusty winds as it left Scott County where we see the strong gusty winds. The storm over Sikeston, the hail core was pretty impressive just a few minutes ago. I was checking that out. It did not show signs of any rotation, so that's good news. But we did see a pretty good sign of hail near the Sikeston area, and that's going to be moving off to the east, and that's what the southern part of this severe thunderstorm warning is for. And it'll be headed towards the Arlington area in a little while as well. More shower activity back towards the southwest, towards the Dexter area, but this is going to be our main storm, I think, for the next couple of hours as it moves off to the east. Again, for you folks in Malden, for you folks in New Madrid, Bernie, I know it's nowhere near you now, but it could last long enough to impact you later on this evening. Right now, our main threat would be in the Neelyville area and in Culen, and this is in southern Butler County. You can see Poplar Bluff. This is staying to your south. If you live in Poplar Bluff and you look south, you'll see an awful lot of lightning. That's this storm right here. The possible tornado is right along Highway 142 in Neelyville near the intersection of 67 and 142 as we speak, and it's going to continue to move off to the east. And then for you folks along Highway N, south and west of Culen, you need to be thinking about hitting your safe spot as well. So there's our possible tornado. Very strong gusty winds moving towards the radar, gusty winds moving away the radar. We're seeing the possible tornado on the north side of Neelyville right now as it crosses Highway 67 in southern Butler County. So again, we talked about how busy this night was probably going to be, and unfortunately, that is the case. Hopefully this one stays aloft. We have had a couple of reports of now appears of a little bit of damage with a few of the storms this evening. We've also seen a lot of hail with these reports coming into us, and we're probably seeing a lot of hail with this storm as well near the Neelyville area. So I know a lot of folks watch us in Poplar Bluff, a lot of folks in the Neelyville area and Culen. I get messages from you all the time on Facebook, and I appreciate that. If you have any reports, I don't want you going out looking for this. I want you to wait till the storm has passed. If you have any damage you'd like to report, I would love for you to send them over to Laura's Facebook page so we can get that interaction going quickly, because Laura can get that information to me. She can also get it to the National Weather Service, and that's how we can get better warnings out to the public based on you all helping us tell the weather story tonight. So very severe thunderstorm, southern Butler County. The parts of the tornado warning for Ripley County, yeah, you were under the tornado warning, but that storm has moved out of your area. So as of right now, I don't think we have anything to worry about tornado-wise in Ripley County. But we've been following the storm for quite some time since it was near West Plains. Laura and I kept checking back with this, and it keeps showing signs of hail and rotation. And it's in an area that is very, very favorable for tornado development. And we're still seeing that possible tornado right there near Neelyville, just to the east now, just barely northeast of the Neelyville area. Again, tornado watch for the county shaded in yellow here. That goes out until 1 o'clock in the morning. We're seeing a severe thunderstorm warning out near the Cairo area because we've been tracking this. This is a storm that earlier produced some damage possibly near the Benton area. It also produced damage along Highway P in northern Stoddard County. And now it is moving toward just to the north of the Cairo area, the worst part. We're going to zoom back into that because, like I said, it was hinting that it wanted to try to do a brief little spin up. So we're going to look at it one more time. And we are seeing that kink. You can see that right here. That rain's being wrapped around. So we'll take a look at the winds inside. And so far they're behaving. They're strong. And again, this could easily cause some power outages as it moves into Ballard County. Eventually it's going to move into McCracken County towards Paducah. But right now I'm not seeing anything that really looks tornadic with this cell. I'll scope it to take another look at another velocity source to see if we have the possibility of a tornado developing, and we do not. So this is a very strong gusty winds that are moving from the Grand Chain area down to Cairo and down towards the Sikeston area, and it's going to be moving towards Arlington and Cunningham, and if it holds together it'll be moving towards Paducah as well as it races off to the east-southeast. And I think they were tracking this at 50 miles per hour now as these storms have. This one has become very strong, fast moving because of the strong winds punching in behind it. But our other storm that is moving a little slower, that is showing signs of rotation and has a tornado warning out on it, is near Neelyville. And you can see this right here. We're seeing a possible tornado near Neelyville, and it's going to be headed towards the Culen area. And it is going to continue to move off to the east at about 25 miles per hour. And as we take a look inside, we're going to scope it for not only winds, but we're going to take a look at the possibility of some hail inside this storm as well.
There was ping pong ball size hail reported with that storm in Ripley County.
Okay, ping pong ball size hail, and that was when it was just probably to the southeast of the Doniphan area when it was moving along Highway 142. And we're still seeing the possibility of some hail to the north side of Neelyville, and the possibility of a tornado as well. And we see those winds going towards the radar, going away from the radar. We've got the possibility of another tornado that could be developing across parts of the heartland. Again, a very busy night. And if you're just tuning in right now wondering what's going on, let's back things up and get a look at the entire area. Again, we always tell you whenever anybody in our viewing area has the threat of a tornado or significant damage that could cause life property or life damages, we want to definitely stay with this. We don't want anybody to lose their life during a severe weather situation, and so that's why we will stay with this throughout the night until everybody in the heartland is safe. And right now, this area across southern Illinois, there's a lot of lightning and thunder. I know it's very, very noisy. I just want to let you know that for the most part, We're not seeing anything right now that appears to be severe, but look at all the lightning. So I know for you folks in southern Illinois that are wondering, why aren't you talking about us? What about us? Here you go. We're talking about you right now. You're getting some heavy rain, you're getting a lot of lightning, but the severe threat right now is, it's not zero, but it's a lot lower here. This is the greatest threat of severe weather with this storm and damaging winds with this. But I tell you, this storm really is piquing my interest, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to pan down to the south just a little bit more. And we talk about these storms, and we're looking at the Memphis radar site now. And notice what's not happening south of this storm. There are no storms developing. We've got this activity right here, another little boundary that's moving to the north. And if that occurs and interacts with this, it could impact the spin on the storm, and we could get an even stronger rotation. So this is why I was telling you earlier that Laura and I are probably going to be keeping our eyes on this storm for the next few hours as it moves across the Boot Heel and then possibly going into northwestern Tennessee. But right now we've got the possibility of a tornado moving into extreme southern Butler County as we speak. We're seeing that right near the Neelyville area. I'm just going to try and get it to pick up on the Memphis radar site. I wanted to see a different aspect from the winds to see what the Memphis radar was showing, because again, this is well away, and there it is. That's coming off the Memphis radar site. We are still seeing that strong circulation, that green going right towards the radar, red going away. And what else this is showing me, this is coming together. The winds are coming together. Now, how do I know that? Well, it's because the green is behind, the darkest green is behind the brightest red. The brightest green, I mean, is behind the brightest red. That means the winds are coming together. That's a sign of a tornado. Winds come together in a tornado. They rotate, but they also come together as they're being forced up the thunderstorm. So that is likely going to produce the possibility of some damaging winds, maybe even a tornado, and that's why we have that tornado warning out. So Culen, you need to be on or in your safe spot as this is headed your way. Right now, it's moving out of Neelyville. So if you live in Ripley County, this rotation has moved out of your area. If you live in Neelyville, the west side of Neelyville, if you live west of 67, safe to say that that rotation is out of your area. Not sure how far east the city limits go in Neelyville, so I'm not going to say if you live in Neelyville you're safe, because this area is definitely not safe. That is just to the east of Highway 67. A very strong indication of a tornado, and we continue to see this wrapping up one storm all by itself headed across southern Butler County. Highway 53 moving out of Culen, that's going to be headed your way as well as we head over the next 15 to 20 minutes. So if you live in this area along Highway 53, along Highway N, you're going to be needing to get in your safe spot right now. Get in that basement. They just trimmed the tornado warning with the latest based on the storm's movement. You can see the majority of Neelyville has been lifted from that tornado warning. But again, a basement, if you have it, if you don't have it, we put as many walls between you and the outside by finding that low-level center interior room. Let's back things up, take a look at the entire heartland, and I'm going to throw things over briefly to Laura, because she's got her eye on a couple of things and she's monitoring reports as well.
Yeah, we've had a lot of reports now of not only hail, but there have been some scattered reports of damaged trees down, things like that, scattered reports of flooding as well. I did want to update the track on this. Some of you are asking when it's going to hit Malden and places even beyond Malden, and we have a new speed on this. It's moving off to the east at about 35 miles per hour. So I'm going to try to track this leading edge, even though the rotation's a little bit further back to the west here. I'm going to track this leading edge and put it off. I'm going to go about an hour or so. We'll have to track it again past that. But this kind of gives you an idea. I know some of you are concerned about when this will be moving into your area. So Malden about 10:05, and then it will be moving into Parma at 10:18 and Como at 10:24. These are brand new estimated times because the speed of it has picked up a little bit. So again, I wanted to point that out to you. Also, many of you were asking me why the sirens were going off in Dealstadt. We do not have a concern for tornadoes in that area. They were likely issuing that because there was a severe thunderstorm warning with the possibility of tornadoes. And we did have some really strong winds that got close to Dealstat. Right now, the strongest winds, though, are north and east of there. So I had several messages asking about that. I don't want to give you the all clear because you are still under some thunderstorms in that area, but I do want to let you know that we are not concerned with a tornado in that area right now. Here you are in Dealstat. So officially you are still under that severe thunderstorm warning, and notice that flash flood warning as well. This is the area that's picked up a lot of precipitation. So this green stretches all the way back through Bell City back into Puxico. That is a flash flood warning. So water levels are continuing to climb in this area especially, and I think even as we head towards later into the night into parts of Kentucky. Unfortunately, this area got hit with a round of some pretty heavy storms this morning, and now it's getting hit once again. So those water levels will likely be climbing through Cairo and even back towards McCracken County as well. So if you are traveling, if you know someone that's traveling in that area this evening, please let them know. It's going to be hard to see, especially if you're driving through rainfall and then you come to a flooded road. So please be careful if you do have to travel tonight.
All right, I want to track something else with that storm that you were just looking at. There's an interesting development on the apex of the bow. And I want to take a closer look at it because this is what I'm talking about right here. I'm a little concerned with this just to the east of Wycliffe. We've got a little inflow notch forming right here. A lot of times we get quick spin ups. This is right along Highway 286 to the east of Wycliffe. I think this is in Ballard County. Take a look at the winds in there to see if there's any hint. There is no hint on the winds, but the reflectivity is very suspect with the little notch on the apex of the bow echo. And I've seen this happen plenty of times where we get quick little spin up tornadoes. And right now, radar is showing that there's not anything. So there's some good news. So we can kind of just put our mind at ease a little bit. Very strong gusty winds are still likely with this just to the east of Wycliffe as it moves into Ballard County and eventually could move into parts of McCracken County as well. We're going to pan off to the north and we'll take a look at this area because we still see that bookend vortex. You kind of see this curl right here to the east of Olmsted. This is headed towards Grand Chain, and we look in here sometimes for quick spin-up tornadoes to develop. And right now we're not seeing anything. We're seeing some strong gusty winds, but we'll continue to monitor that as well as we head throughout the next hour or so. So our big story right now is our storm. I was just checking out the storm near to the east of Doniphan. That is tornado warned. That is in the southern Butler County, east of Neelyville, moving into the Culen area. The overall intensity, the height of the storm has come down just a bit. So hopefully that trend continues because I'm a little bit surprised because the environment says that this could just go on forever. But I would like for it to weaken, as I'm sure all of us would that are in harm's way. So as we take a look at the winds inside here, we're still seeing the possibility of a tornado with this area. Again, the rotations on the southern end. We'll see the hail and the heavy rain and the high gusty winds move across the Culen area and along Highway 51 north and west of Culen between Poplar Bluff and Culen. Some very, very ill-advised travel, I would say, if you're trying to go down 51 right now. Either way, because you're going to get pummeled with rain, likely hail, reduced visibility, some gusty winds. The tornado right now appears to be right in this general area or headed towards that area, towards Culen, with the possibility of that rotation continuing, leading to the fact that we could see another tornado or a possible tornado develop. Now, the overall rotation looks a little better, I would say, for not having a tornado, to be honest with you, from the Paducah radar site. But I want to see if I can switch things back to the Memphis site because we're getting in that kind of no man's land where we get sometimes better information from different radar sites because it's in that area so far out. So we'll take a look at the Memphis site. You can see how the shape of the storm changed just a little bit. This is now coming from the Memphis radar, and we'll take a look in here to see if we still have that rotation. It's not as strong as it was just a minute ago, so that's definitely some good news. Hopefully this trend continues, but we do have a possible tornado that is in southeastern Butler County. There it is right there on First Alert Doppler Network. As we take a look, it's too far away more than likely for any debris signature. This would likely be hail that we see that's going to be moving into the Culen area right along Highway 51 here. Some very, I won't say very large hail. The hail marker has come down a little bit, but it wouldn't surprise me if you get dime-size hail scale, maybe a little bigger than dimes, maybe up to nickel size, but it's on the southern end where we would see right across Highway N, where we see that possible tornado that could be developing right here, that rotation that we are seeing in southeastern Butler County. So we've got one storm right now that we're concerned with the possibility of a tornado. We've got another storm again that we're continuing to watch closely that's showing very strong gusty winds moving into western Kentucky, and very strong gusty winds can sometimes cause just as much damage as a tornado and can impact more people because, you know, tornado is very, very small, but this gust front along these thunderstorms, that's not very small. That's going to be causing a lot of gusty winds across Ballard County and moving in towards McCracken County. It looks like they did extend that warning, right? Wibbs, it looks like,
yes.
Yeah, boy, they've extended it well off to the east.
Now till 10:15, and it's moving off to the east at, let's see, the new speed is 45 miles per hour.
So 45, and they were tracking it, I think, at 50 on the last update. But the new warning goes out all the way down to Graves County, parts of Carlisle County, McCracken County. It goes into, you can see Marshall County and Livingston County, and that's for this strong bow echo that's moving in, very strong gusty winds with this storm. We have other storms across southern Illinois we can check out in western Kentucky. You can see in this general area, and this is mainly just heavy rain. We haven't really seen anything that appears to be severe or under the threat of seeing any tornadoes. We'll take a look at the winds inside here, and we're not seeing anything right now. So this is basically for you folks that are watching in the southern Illinois area and parts of western Kentucky. This is mainly just a very heavy rain event and strong gusty winds up to 40 to 50 miles per hour and a lot of lightning. This is our severe thunderstorm that's headed towards the Paducah area. This will likely cause a few power outages, maybe some tree damage in a few spots. But our main concern, again, is that possible tornado that is in Butler County. And if it holds together, we'll see it move towards the Dunkling County area. You see Malden right here. Here's the storm. And again, we've been watching this storm very closely since it developed just to the southwest of West Plains. It just keeps going, and it just keeps getting stronger and stronger. At least it was. Now, right now, the last couple of trends at least have been just slightly weaker, and we hope that trend will continue for us as it moves into Culin right now. I would imagine if we have anything on the ground, we would start to get some reports. We could take a look at the wind flow. We're still seeing a pretty good signature of very strong winds right where you would see that updraft. So there could easily be a tornado right along, I think that's Highway N. Once again, we'll zoom in a little closer to get you in that area where you need to be definitely taking shelter. Yeah, Highway N, and that's in southeastern Butler County. Highway 51. And in Highway CC, it's going to be just a little bit before it gets there. Wow, it's tightened up even more on the latest run right there. That's pretty impressive for it being so far away from the radar. So again, headed into Culin, I would be definitely in my safe spot right now. That means get in your basement if you have one. If you don't have one, you want to put as many walls between you and the outside by getting to the lowest level of your home. Find that interior closet, find that interior bathroom to put as many walls between you and the outside to keep you safe from flying debris that could be occurring with this storm. And again, the overall severity, the height had come down just a bit, but that rotation looked a little tighter on that latest run. And again, this is going to be moving into the Memphis National Weather Service area of responsibility when it moves into Dunkling County. Right now, Paducah covers southeastern Butler County, and they have a tornado warning out on it. I'm not sure what Memphis is looking at right now. I would imagine at least we'll see a severe thunderstorm warning, if not a tornado warning continued off to the east. What are you looking at right there, Laura?
This is just west of Joppa, Grant. This is that bookend vortex that we've been watching, and it's starting to tighten up a little bit once again. This is just south of Grand Chain, and this is moving off to the east-northeast, so this would possibly impact Joppa. But been keeping a close eye on that for us. We went to it a few times, and it's kind of weakened, but now it's starting to show some signs of tightening again. They're not right up on each other. That red and green aren't touching, but in the next scan, I wouldn't be surprised if they were.
Well, thanks. And that's why we want to have at least two of us here all the time so we can look at all the different storms. And that was definitely something we're going to have to continue to watch, that bookend vortex. Very strong gusty winds moving across Highway N right now. There could even be a tornado on the ground that is moving into the southern end of Culin right along Highway N. You can see that rotation right there, that red and that basically, it was kind of a teal color showing you how fast the winds were. There's the latest update on the reflectivity. The hail core is moving across Highway 51 right now in southeastern Butler County. You can see the tornado warning for you folks along Highway 142, County Road 260. Those areas, the storm has moved off to your east. We can kind of pan back a little bit farther to the west as well to give some all clears to some folks in Neelyville. You can see the storm is well off to your east now. So we can go ahead and get out of our safe spot here because the possible tornado has moved out of your area. Culin, you don't want to get out of your safe spot as the possible tornado is moving into your neck of the woods right now. Showing up pretty good on the radar site there from Memphis, and I can kind of pinpoint it out here for you to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about. You can see the green right here. Those are winds going towards the radar, and the red, they're going away from the radar. And that right there is the counterclockwise circulation